Change management is always harder than you think, and I'm going to draw a picture in 60 seconds to explain why. When we think about change management, we've got to think about it like an iceberg. This is an iceberg, terrible drawing. This is the water, in case you couldn't tell. And at the tip of the iceberg, you're looking for things like sabotage. You're looking for employees that are just flat out opposed to the project. They want nothing to do with it. They don't see the value, they don't see the benefit, and they just refuse to change. This is a tiny, tiny part of change management challenges. I'd say less than 1% of change management issues come from pure sabotage, intentional resistance, people that just don't want to get on board. Quite frankly, a lot of times these people won't survive the transition. Now, the real problem, the bigger problem, is what's underneath the surface here. And what's underneath the surface, below the tip of the iceberg, are things that are related to unintentional resistance. Things like lack of clarity. So there's no clarity, or there's less clarity than you should have. People don't understand how their jobs are going to change. You yourself may not understand how your job's going to change, or how their jobs are going to change. You may be making bold statements like AI is going to automate your job, it's going to make your job so much easier. But without any clarity behind that, people will be threatened by that. The other part of this is the aspect of heroics and pride. When we are dealing with people and their legacy processes and technologies, it's easy to say, these old processes suck, they need to be fixed. Well, these old processes may suck, it may not be good for the long-term future of the business, but someone created those processes, someone created tools that help you power through, and the minute you start talking about taking those tools away, you are threatening that sense of pride that people have built over time. And then the last thing is just uncertainty. And this is somewhat related to lack of clarity, but when you have uncertainty around what's going to happen in the future, when the project is going to happen, when it's going to affect your job, how it's going to affect your job, all that stuff, that uncertainty is what creates a lot of resistance to change. So even the most well-intended employees, the people that are on board on the surface, that say, hey, at the start of the project, they're raising their hand saying, yep, we're excited about this project. Eventually, they're going to get below the tip of the iceberg. We're going to get below the tip of the iceberg during the project and find that people are actually resistant to change, not because they're bad people, but because they don't understand and you're threatening the world that they know.